All right, so I was thinking about this, and I've talked about it with my boy, one of my buddies who works in a local run store uh, in Miami, and it makes all the sense in the world. And I've actually experimented with this through other stores on a national level. I've gone to different stores in France and Italy, and I've talked about this, and this is the big thing. And I know that there's a lot of like hatred towards Nike because of some of the political issues or some of the workforce and what have you. And I'm not looking into that. I'm not going to play that game. But what I will tell you is every person that I ask in a small running store why they don't carry Nike, they give every single one of them gives me the exact same, it's almost scripted answer. And they say, Nike carbon plated shoes are for elite runners. You're not there yet, or we don't have enough talent to supply those, or it's those aren't. We don't suggest wearing those. There's other more cushioned brands that we suggest. Now, do I think there's some truth to that? Maybe a little bit of it, but the reality is they're all carbon plated super shoes. So what the hell's the difference? But my point is that they say that because Nike doesn't need them, so they don't really need to go to these small stores for contracts to sell. But what they'll do is if they want to sell Nike shoes, the small mom and pop owner can't just be like, oh, I only want to sell Vaporfly 3s and I only want to sell Alphafly 3s. What they have to do is they have to sell the Vomeros, they have to sell I don't know what other ones that there are right now, the Peg 41s, the Peg Plus, this, that, the other thing. They have to take the whole motherload of Nike models and prototypes of this season, and they have to continuously buy those. And for them to buy those and clear those, it just doesn't make sense on a dollar and cents perspective for them. So the reality is people will go in, they'll buy the Vapors, they'll buy the Alphas, they'll buy, the Invincible runs on occasion, what have you. But they're not going to clear out enough of that model because Nike's not going to just be like, oh, we're going to selectively give you, our super shoes. No, that's not how it works for them. So instead of them saying that they wouldn't make profit on the Nikes, they say that they turn it on to the customer and they say, well, you're probably not there yet because the reality is there's less than probably 0.5% of runners that are considered elite or semi-elite or warrant the Nike carbon plated shoe, which in my opinion is not true. I've seen way too many people wear Nike that are marathoners in the 3 hour, 30-minute range, 310, 305, 250, 255, whatever. I mean, there's just so many. So that's my take. I don't know if anybody else has heard anything else differently about it, but I've seen it. I've purposely asked like the store owners, because usually it's a small mom and pop owner. And look, I appreciate small business. Again, I'm not getting into the political side of this. I don't want this to be like some wormhole, but I asked them, I make sure I ask, why don't you guys carry Nike? I'm confused. Like, they're such a big brand in sports, And I get the same answer. It's like, oh, what's your race time? Like, are you fast? Like, did you run? Like, what, did you run in college? Are you elite? Or what are you training for? What's your marathon time? Blah, blah, blah. And then they kind of turn it on you. It's like, no, you're actually, not only are you a customer who's going to buy an ASICS off me, you're a shitty runner. So that's my take. I've always raced in Nike. They fit my foot well. I like actually experimenting with other brands. I have New Balance Fuel Cell Rebels coming as a tempo run. I really wanted the ASICS Super Blast, but they've been sold out. The Bandit membership actually comes with a 20% discount on ASICS on marathonsports.com. So I've been literally haunting that website for the last 12 months, and I still can't find the Super Blast in size 10. I've tried OnCloud. I really like the OnCloud Eclipse. What else have I experimented with? The Adidas Boston Pros, I've done a review on those. They don't fit true to size. I'm a 10 and everything, and I got those in a 10, and I literally have this much room in the back of my ankle, which is like probably like that much room. So not a huge fan of those. Just didn't feel great. And yeah, that's my take, and that's my little quest on the Nike situation. And I think that maybe there is other reasons for it, but I think that makes the most sense in the world. So that's my take on Nike and mom and pop shoe stores.